Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Valerie Freeman, and today welcome to my channel, Legacy Talk TV. Guys, I'm still getting in the mode of the YouTube world. And so I would like to welcome you all to my channel. And today we're just going to talk a bit about why is insurance intimidating? Or do you find that life insurance is intimidating? Again, on my channel, it's going to be pretty laid back. I don't want to be like anybody else. It's very easy to be like everybody else. But again, I want this channel, this platform to be pretty laid back. I want my audience to be able to interact with me, be able to leave comments or what have you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about why life insurance is important, or why is it intimidating, and also the uses for life insurance. And we're going to give a few examples of maybe a family with life insurance and one without life insurance. Okay, so the only thing that I could think of why insurance could be intimidating is because it may have not been something that was introduced to your family. Because I know a lot of things are generational behaviors or traditions. And so if you're from a family that don't talk about life insurance and the value of having life insurance, then you're ignorant to what it can actually do for you and your family. And so I'm going to tell you guys, I'll be the first to say, before I got into the insurance industry, it was very intimidating. Anytime, I'm going to be honest with you guys, anytime that I would see anyone with a briefcase or a suit and tie or etc., I automatically assumed that they were coming to sell me something. Okay. And I know you guys know what I mean, right? So I would go the other way. I'm like, oh no, you're not selling me anything today. And so I would run the other way because, again, I was ignorant to what it is that they were trying to get me to understand. Okay. And so I ran away because I did not know. So just so happened, I was just minding my own business. And here I kept seeing the same thing. So I'm like, well, what, let me check into it. And so I started reading up on it, and then so fast forward to today, the more, because I'm always a student, right? You have to remain a student. And so the more that I learn about life insurance, because we will never know everything, right? I mean, there's no one in this world that knows everything. Even if you're a master in your field, you don't know everything, right? So I think we all fall under the category of not knowing everything because you want to remain a student. But the more that I delve into life insurance and the insurance industry, I learn a lot more and the value of having life insurance. And so my understanding is that life insurance, it can be a way for you to live financially free. And it's like, why do you have to struggle when you don't have to struggle? If you can put 20, 30, 40, $50 into a policy, should you ever need it for an emergency or an unexpected emergency, you have it. Versus at the last minute, it's like, oh, there's an emergency. And so it's like, now you having to come up with the money and you don't have it. So what do you do? Right? Especially when you get sick. And that's kind of like what I was talking about, the life insurance with living benefits. A lot of times when you get sick or disabled with a chronic, critical, or terminal illness, guess what? You're out of work. You cannot work. You may have to take off time from work. So it's like, what do your family do? Or what will you do? Or what income do you have to supplement you not being at work? Because guess what? Bills are going to keep coming. Bills will always be there, even after you're gone. But, we want to stop that. We don't want bills. You don't want bills to linger after you're gone. You don't want bills to be your child's responsibility. Nobody should be responsible for your bills when you're gone, because as an adult or a responsible adult, you want to make sure that you have your priorities together. We find ourselves in a world where we beg for what we need, but we buy what we want. So it's like, oh, I could buy these $200 or $300 pair of pants or shoes or bag or rims or whatever the case is, or go out and get a lobster steak dinner. But it's like, when it's time to talk about your future or setting a plan in place, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna be good. And we don't have a penny saved up. We only have 10,000 or 20,000 saved up, and we know that is not enough. That's gonna be barely enough to buy food for a year, right? So I feel like understanding the value of life insurance will make a difference of whether you're gonna live a productive life or what's the other word? Not a very productive life. Life insurance, you can use it for funeral arrangement, college funding. You can put a down payment on a car or a home. You can pay off debts, medical bills. Again, you could also use life insurance for like IUL for retirement planning. Okay, you can use life insurance for pretty much anything. So it's like, why are we not covered? The very first moment I found or that I understood and realized how important life insurance was, guess what? I doubled down quick, okay? I had to give me some life insurance. Not just enough to bury me, but just so if something happens to me, my son's going to be Gucci, okay? He's going to be great, okay? So, and I know a lot of times you're like, well, how much is 10,000? What about 20,000? Lord knows, in 10 years, 5 years, we know that that's not going to be enough. Let's not skimp out on our lives, because you know what? We can always get another phone. We want to secure our phones with the insurance and insure our cars and our homes. But guess what? You can always get another car, home. You can get all of those things, but you cannot get another life. And what about when you're gone? What are your children going to do? So that brings me to my examples. Let's talk about a family that has insurance and one that doesn't. Okay, now you have a family that does what they're supposed to do. They go ahead and cover themselves, cover their loved ones, and make sure that they have a plan in place. Because we know that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? We all know that, right? So you have this family that has their plan in place. They have life insurance, but guess what? They pass away, and guess what? Their family, their beneficiary, well, the insured already has a plan in place for that beneficiary so that if something happens to that insured, guess what? They're going to be buried properly because this family has gotten enough so that they're not scraping and doing GoFundMe's to make sure that their family member or their loved one is buried properly. Okay. So you have this family that does what they're supposed to do, get covered, get their children covered, get themselves covered, and anyone that they love, they want to make sure that they're covered and they're going to be good when they're gone. So they take the money, they bury them, and then they may have some left over for the beneficiaries or the rest of the family. Who knows? Now let's talk about the one that does not have a plan in place. Guess what? We scramble at the last minute. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? There's an emergency. My family just died. My family member just passed. Now, let's go hustle. Let's do a GoFundMe. Ooh, let's go out there and beg. Why do that? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just trying to understand why is it that we prefer to beg for what we need versus taking care of what we need and then begging for what we want. I mean, that makes more sense to me. Take care of your responsibilities first, and then let's go back to, because I want to go past my thoughts because sometimes my mind just goes and goes. But so the family that does not, they want to beg for life insurance money or barely enough to bury their loved ones. But if you love, or the one that's being buried, if you love yourself and loved your family enough, you will make sure that you are yourself are covered and your bills are taken care of. You can use that life insurance money to take care of your bills before you're gone. Now you say, well, how am I supposed to know if I'm going to leave this world? When no one knows when our times expire. So that's why it's always good to go ahead and get that done today versus tomorrow, because you're here one moment and gone the next. There's no time. No one has a time limit on when or where this is going to happen. We think that we're going to live forever, and we're not. And I hate to break it down this way, but I told you guys I'm pretty laid back on this channel, and I don't want to stifle my tongue or, you know, water down what it is I'm saying. But now, what I will say is, I find it so often that African Americans or blacks or browns or darker skin descent, like they're more so the family that wants to beg for insurance money, and we sometimes, because I was there one time too, so I'm not talking I'm not trying to call the kettle black, but or however that goes, but I was there once. We beg for no, we buy what it is that we want, and we beg for what it is that we need, which is totally backwards. So I'm not excluded from that group. However, I have separated myself because I understand through knowledge and education how life insurance can be very beneficial for me and generations to come, you know? And so I'm not going to exclude myself from that. So I just find it that a lot of blacks, just say how it is, a lot of blacks, they are lacking in this area. But you want to wonder why they're lacking in this area. Is it because it's generational curses? Yes, it is a curse. Having financial freedom or the lack thereof of financial freedom is a curse. And the curse can only be broken is if you educate yourself, which is why I'm here. I love to educate. I love to teach, because I had to start from a point. I had to start myself because that was something that we weren't taught. So I too had to learn. So if I have to break it down to the basics so you can understand and maybe put yourself in a better position financially, then that's why I'm here. I love to teach. But you don't want to find yourself in that family bracket that does not take care of their business. Or you don't want to leave here and you have kids and they're like, well, we got to find a way to bury mama or daddy or grandma or grandpa or auntie, uncle, cousin, cuz, all them. You don't want to find yourself, or Kiki them and JJ. We don't want to God away. But we don't want to wait to the last minute, or we don't want to find ourselves saying, well, you know what? They obviously didn't care about me, because if they did, they would have left some insurance money to bury themselves. Like, that is very rude. I would never want to be somebody else's responsibility, especially with them burying me. Because I love myself and I love my son, I would never leave him abandoned like that. And two, I believe also that's why a lot of people are in foster care and they're homeless, is because those that before them, they may not have had that education, and I'm not saying that there are more whites that are homeless or more black, but I do find that there are a lot of blacks that are homeless. And two, I think going back to the education and the generational curses is because they don't know, and because maybe they never had someone to teach them. Hence why I'm here. So guys, I don't want to hold you all too long. I don't want to drag this out too much longer. I just wanted to get on here, kind of just show my face and to talk with you guys, just to kind of, get your mind, get your your cognitive functions going. I just want you to be able to start thinking about what's most important to you, what it is that you need versus what it is that you want. What can you do without? What can you not do without? Thinking about what you have in case of an emergency, because you have to think like that. Everything is not going to always be what it is. Because if it's going to be what it is, then we don't need to plan for anything, because it's like, okay, it is what it is. You don't care. But if you care, you want to be proactive versus reactive. Okay? So guys, I really enjoyed myself today. I know I didn't really have a whole lot of notes, but I just kind of freestyled this thing because it is something that I love to talk about, the value of life insurance. and the difference it can make in your life versus having it and not having it. I mean, this is just like, I feel it, because it makes sense, and I think sometimes it's better when you can talk to someone that will put it in perspective for you so that you can say, okay, well, you know what? I never looked at it that way. And then, but two, we always wonder, like, why is the man always have more? But it's not that they have more, it's because they want more. When you want more, you'll get more. When you inquire, you will start to bring in what it is that you're looking for. You can have what it is that you want. The only person that will stop you is you. So we don't want to be ignorant, which means ignorant, meaning that you don't want to just whatever. It just ignorance bliss, right? No, it's not. Ignorance will keep you on the bottom. I'm telling you, it's going to keep you on the bottom. So you can either learn, educate yourself, do your research, or reach out to someone that may know a little bit more about it. I don't mind talking to you a little bit more about it, because I am a consultant. So I don't mind doing that. Okay. So, guys, I really appreciate your time today on Legacy Talk TV. And, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and what else? Maybe they'll say share and share this video. Okay. For someone that may be finding it difficult to train their mind or get their mind in the process of, or in the going the right way. I'll say that. We want to go the right way. We want to live, right? So, again, thank you for watching and God bless.